Hello and welcome to another episode number 2 of Influence Me. This is my new series of video interviews with the most interesting influencers in enterprise communications. So today's guest is Blair Pleasant, and so let's bring her on. Hello, Blair. Welcome to Influence Me.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
Great. Thank you for being here. So the point of this show is to get to know Blair a little better, or the point of this episode, I should say. So we're going to start off getting to know you with your last name, Blair Pleasant. There's not a lot of people that actually have decent adjectives that describe them as their last name. So it would confuse people if I had that last name, I think. But
Yeah.
so tell us. I assume you took this name when you got married, or is it your maiden name?
No, definitely not my maiden name. I had a choice and I definitely took this name. It was much better.
And was this a factor in the man you married, or is this just an extra benefit or something?
Just an extra benefit. The real benefit was marrying someone 6'6", so my kids actually, are taller than 5 feet. So that was the real benefit too.
Well, I think it's a great idea. A lot of people should have adjectives as their name that describe them, but
well, it's not always great. We hear the same things all the time. You go to a restaurant, have a pleasant meal, or you go to a hotel, have a pleasant stay. And if, God forbid, you're in a bad mood, oh, she wasn't very pleasant.
Yeah.
So, it's not all perfect.
Well, okay. So there's a number of things that a lot of people know about you. One is that you are a big Beatles fan,
Yeah.
and I believe you've actually got a crush on Paul McCartney. And my question is, how long have you had a crush on Paul McCartney?
Since I was 5. I mean, I got my first Beatles album when I was 5, long time ago. And yeah, he was the cute one. I liked the cute one. I loved the accent, the voice, and the hair, the whole thing. So yeah, since I was 5. And my number one bucket list item is to meet him in person or meet him somehow and just say thank you for all the joy you've given me and all the times you were there or your music was there to help me get through times. So if anyone out there knows him and can introduce me.
Well, and he's still performing, and so is there?
Yeah,
I assume that over your crush period that you've caught him live a few times.
Oh yeah, in fact, I just saw him a few months ago in Oakland, and his voice isn't what it used to be, but still he puts on a great show, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I saw him back in the day with Wings Over America. I never saw the Beatles. I'm old, but not that old. But yeah, I've seen Paul several times.
Yeah, and he's been performing. I mean, it's just amazing. He's still performing. I mean, it's great. All right. The other thing that a lot of people know about you is that you are, well, I don't know if you're a wine connoisseur or if you are just a wine drunk and just like to drink it a lot. I mean, there's, but you live in wine country. You live in California wine country, and so tell me and tell anybody who might be watching something they probably don't know about wine.
Okay, so have you heard of ice wine?
Sangria.
Nope. Ice wine is a type of dessert wine, and it's made from grapes that have been frozen while still on the vine. So it obviously only takes place in really cold places, like Canada is known for it. So the grapes stay on the vine, and after the temperatures get really cold and the grapes freeze, then the sugars get really concentrated. So then after then you go through the whole regular fermentation, crush, and all that stuff. But because the sugars get really concentrated, it's a really nice like sweet dessert wine. But in order to be called an ice wine, it has to be so that the grapes have to be frozen on the vine. So some places in California, like my favorite or one of my favorite wineries, Meeker, they make an ice wine, but they can't call it an ice wine because they pick the grapes and then freeze it. They put it in some cryo whatever to freeze the grapes and then go through the whole process. So that can't be called ice wine because it's kind of like champagne. It can only be called champagne if it comes from that region of France. So ice wine can only be called ice wine if the wine comes from grapes that are frozen on the vine. And it's really good, by the way. So you should try it
Is it really
sometime.
sweet or
Yes, but I mean not overly. But yeah, it's a dessert wine.
okay? And you mentioned a winery you really like. Is there any other wineries you want to share that you really like? That's some of your favorites.
Well, the two wine clubs I belong to, so one is Meeker and the other is Delormier. And Delormier is part of the Wilson Winery family. So Wilson Winery has got a whole bunch: Mazzacco, Matrix, Rockpile, Soda Rock. There's a few more. So the Wilson wines are really good in Sonoma County. Delorme is my favorite one from there. Meeker I really like. Sapphire Hill is really good. So those are local ones that I like.
Well,
And
local
then
ones in Sonoma, California, are pretty
right.
much the California wines that most of us want to explore. Uh, the I've only been to wine country a few times, and one thing that surprises me is how many people. There's vineyards everywhere, and people like I think Jim had used to have vineyards in his backyard, although he didn't manage them; somebody else did. But that's the deal. You have land; somebody will come in and grow vineyards. And so my question is, do you have vineyards anywhere near you?
Definitely not in my neighborhood. So, I mean, there are areas that are pretty rural and, people will have vineyards, but it's not like, everyone has a vineyard. In fact, California, because land prices are so high, most of us have pretty small backyards. So, no, having a vineyard is not something most people have. But, 10 minutes away, there's wineries and vineyards. So, once you get out of the residential areas, there's a lot of them.
Do you have a dedicated dishwasher for wine glasses?
No, Jim does, I don't. But
That's
I do have 2 wine fridges in the house though, one in the garage and one, in the family room, and then we do have a wine storage area, under the house just 'cause it's not a formal cellar or anything, but it's kind of the temperature is just perfect, so we keep some wine there.
okay. Well, that sounds pretty nice. Um, you saw that LinkedIn thinks it's our anniversary, 14-year
Yes.
anniversary. Um, you said it felt like 40, and I was thinking,
In a good way.
I was thinking LinkedIn is only basing the anniversary on how long we've been connected on LinkedIn. I probably had you on probation for at least 5 years before I connected with you. So, but it's yeah, it has been a good 14. And then over those 14, a lot of people don't realize that the analyst community um, in UC and contact center is actually pretty close. And the reason we're so close is because we travel so much together. So I wanted to ask you about some of the more memorable analyst events that you could recall over your career. Some of them get to be pretty exotic. Some of them get to be pretty interesting. Some of them are actually like, in an airport hotel, which is actually my favorite. Um, but um, but which ones in your mind stand out over the years?
Yeah, probably definitely the international ones stand out more because, a lot of times we'll add on some days and, do some traveling and stuff. And as you said, they're more exotic. I mean, we've had some good domestic ones. New Orleans is always fun. There were some really good ones in New York, some really good ones in wine country also. But the ones that stand out are definitely the international ones. So, you and I were both recently in Marrakesh for the NICE event, and that was awesome. And it happened to be my birthday, and they just treated me so well. It was just such a wonderful time. Um, I was going to say last year, but COVID, you have to add 3 years or whatever. But right before COVID, there was a really fun event in Ireland from Genesis. We got to stay in a castle and do all these pretty cool activities. Dubai, I know you've been to Dubai a couple times with Avaya. Again, Dubai is just such an interesting place, and
It's crazy. It's like it's a completely crazy place. It's so over the
yeah,
top.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I mean, I went snorkeling at my hotel, not at the beach, but within the hotel, they had you know an area with rays and sharks and whatever that you got to snorkel in. I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Uh,
One of the ones that stand out for me is Prague, uh, Czech Republic. I
yep.
think that's a great place to have an event, actually.
And we went
Uh,
to what was it, the beer library, the beer museum, I think they
the
called
beer
it.
museum, yeah, which was basically not a museum at all, but
Right.
basically a pub with a lot of
Yep.
taps. Um,
And there
all
was
right.
Paris several times, with Alcatel Lucent and Genesis. We went to Paris lots of times. I mean, but the best one, the one that stands out the most, was South Africa with Dimension Data, because afterwards, Art Scholler and his wife, I know you had Art on this last week, and another analyst and his wife, and my husband and I all went on safari afterwards.
Yeah.
That was a bucket list for anybody. That was just amazing. So South Africa was definitely the one that stands out the most.
Yeah, that one does stand out. But I don't want to, you said it earlier, I don't want to put down any of the domestic events. The domestic events have been
No,
really good too. I think that one actually in Jackson Hole was
I
actually
was
really
just going to say the Jackson Hole one was really great. Yeah, there have been a lot of really good ones too, except for Vegas. Hate going to Vegas.
good. Okay, so another thing that we share in common is a lot of Seinfeld, and it's unfortunate because the show has been off the air for so long that a lot of people don't appreciate it anymore. I still say it's the best show on television to this day, but we were on a panel just recently, and I asked you about the convergence of UC and CC, and asked you if it was real, is this a real thing or not? And what did you say?
I said it's real and it's spectacular.
And that was, of course, a Seinfeld reference to what? Are you going to say it?
The boobs.
Terry Hatcher's breast. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, it was, and it was a great reference. I think most of the people in the audience understood it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we share a lot of Seinfeld stuff, and we have a lot of references. So I thought that I would ask you some Seinfeld trivia questions and see how well you do at this.
Gonna put me on the spot.
So let me I got a scorecard here. Let's see here. So we're going to start off with you got a 0 score, but I expect
Not
you.
that there's anything wrong with it.
Not. but I expect you to get at least a 7 here out of 10. So let's see how you do. The first question is, which arcade game, was George great at?
It's the one when he had to go through the different lanes and stuff. What was the name of it though?
Oh, I wish I had some music here. Come
on.
on.
It wasn't Pac-Man.
It wasn't Pac-Man. No.
But
you don't get points for what it wasn't. No, you don't get points for that.
I know the episode. It was at the pizza place, and he had to go through the
it's
street
a big arcade game, and you plug. Right. What do you plug the arcade game into?
Oh, the holes.
Oh, you plug it into holes. That's right. Okay, I should give you a point for that one alone.
Okay.
So, but the game was Frogger.
That's right.
Okay, I'll give you a point for that one because you got the hole. I didn't think you get the. I was originally going to ask you about the holes. The joke was the electrician he hired didn't know what an outlet was, but he knew what the holes were. Okay, second question. According to Elaine, which flavor of a babka is the lesser babka?
Oh, cinnamon. Chocolate is. Yeah, chocolate is the only babka.
Okay.
And Jerry said cinnamon takes no backseat to chocolate or something like that.
I don't know if you got a point for that one because you're a Seinfeld fan or because you're a babka fan, but either way, you deserve the point, so you got it. Let's see. Which main character? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to ask you on the arcade game on Frogger. What arcade game was your favorite game when you were playing arcade games?
I didn't really do arcade games too much. I was more into pinball.
You were a pinball. You were a pinball wizard?
Not a wizard, but I was pretty okay. I did okay.
I wasn't too big in the arcades, but I was a Tetris junkie like you wouldn't believe at one point, but that was mostly on my computer. All right. Which main character of Seinfeld was not in episode 1?
Elaine or Kramer. So George definitely was, because they were in the laundry room talking about stuff.
Well, you clearly know which is episode 1.
Yeah, they were in the laundry room, and they were going to the airport to meet a woman who Jerry had met, and he was going to pick her up from the airport. I think Elaine.
Elaine was not in it, and she was a studio ad. They wrote the script with just the three of them, and the studio notes came back and said you have to add a woman to the cast.
And
And
they
so
also had someone, a waitress in the diner who never came back.
that one I don't know about. I'm not same episode.
Yeah, yeah. The same episode, there was a waitress, and she was talking. She was teasing George about he wanted decaf, and she at the end said, "Yeah, I gave him caffeine," but she never reappeared.
So next question here is this is a phone question.
Wait,
You
wait.
probably
Change my score.
wait. Did I not give you a point? Okay, okay. All right, all right.
Mhm.
Um, when Kramer gets a new phone number, callers mistake it for what?
Movie phone.
Movie phone. All right, you got a point for that. Now, most people in the era of the internet have no idea what movie phone is. What is movie phone?
So movie phone was like an 800 number or whatever number that, well, I guess not 800, but a phone number that you would call to find out the schedule of your local movie theater.
Can you
So
believe that people did this?
absolutely. But I actually used that in back when I would give presentations about voice recognition, because he pretended that he was like the IVR, and he would say, "Hello and welcome to movie phone. If you want to see Agent Orange, press one." And George would be pressing one, but of course Kramer didn't know that. So that was like pre voice recognition, and
Why
Kramer
don't you
kind of
just tell? He would say, "Why don't you just tell
yeah,
me what you want?"
right. Yep.
All right, that was good. That's good. All right, you're doing pretty good on this quiz here. You got 100%, don't you? Let's see here. So this is an easy one. While viewing a operation, what do Jerry and Kramer accidentally drop into the body?
Jujube.
I'm afraid
No,
that
no,
is
no.
incorrect.
Mint. A junior mint. A junior mint.
Oh my God! Now I don't know. You changed it after I said it was incorrect. I think that's a no score. Sorry, I think you missed that
Oh,
one.
it
But
was junior
you were
mint.
so
Okay.
quick with the juju. I got to. Yeah,
Yep.
but
Yep. You're right.
you did know it. You did know it. Um, all right. What is your favorite movie candy?
Well, I don't do that anymore, but when I was younger, Milk Duds.
Milk Duds were good. Yeah, Milk Duds are good. Yeah, you only see them in movie theaters and Halloween. You
Yep.
never see Milk Duds anywhere else. And same with Whoppers. They kind of just disappear. You never see them at the grocery store checkout. What is the name of Kramer's rooster?
Little Jerry.
All right, Little Jerry Seinfeld.
Well,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right, Little Jerry Seinfeld. And do you remember why Kramer got a rooster?
I know they were using it for cockfighting, but
But he got it because he wanted fresh eggs, and he didn't know it was a rooster. But this is I've had chickens for the last several years, as you know, and this is the first year without chickens. And this is the year that the price of eggs have gone crazy. So frustrating. My ROI on it's terribly frustrating. Okay, all right. If you got that one, you'll probably get this one. What is the name of the Muffin Top Bakery?
Top of the morning or something like that. Top of the morning to you.
Oh, you're so close.
Top of the muffin to you.
Top of the
No?
muffin. All right, you got these down pretty good. That was I did not think you'd get that one, but you got the other name. I didn't think you'd get the rooster one either, to be honest. But yeah, top of the muffin to you, and Are you a muffin top person?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You throw away the stumps?
Sometimes, yeah. I definitely like the tops.
Definitely like the tops. All right. Now this one's an easy one. The bonus part, if you can get the bonus part.
Okay, I'm ready.
Jerry gives his dad's neighbor a gift in Florida. What is the gift? And the bonus part is, what is the neighbor? Who is the neighbor?
He gives the neighbor a gift. I remember he took the astronaut pen. He gave his dad a Cadillac. He gave a neighbor a gift. Uh-oh,
He,
I'm forgetting this one.
yeah, you got this one a little mixed up. He gave the neighbor the space pen. It was his space pen, and he gave
No,
it to
no, it was
Jack. And he gave it to Jack Klompus. And Jack was very proud of it. No, 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 you don't, no, no. And then Jack, it turned out to be a big deal, and he had to ask for the pen back. Oh, maybe you're
I
right.
don't
Maybe you're
know.
right. He took
Um,
it from. Oh, he took it from Jack. Oh my gosh.
well, no,
All right, all
because
right,
Jack
all
said,
right.
take, well, Jerry complimented him on the pen, and Jack said,
Yep. No, no,
take it.
no.
And
I
Jerry
got
was
this one
like, nope,
wrong.
nope.
I,
Mhm.
I got it. You got it right. I gave you the point. I don't want to hear. I don't want to talk about this one anymore. But the bonus question was the name of the neighbor. It was Jack Klompus,
Yeah.
and I think Jack was a great character.
Good.
All right, we got two more. This one's an easy one. I used to have a T-shirt that said this. What does Frank Costanza say to lower his blood pressure?
Serenity now.
Serenity now. Yes.
Serenity
Yes.
now.
You're not supposed to shout it, but yes, Serenity now. Okay, good. Okay, give you a point. Give you a point. All right, all right. And what? Oh, this is a too easy one. This one's too easy, particularly for you. What is the name of the condo development where Jerry's parents live?
Del Boca Vista.
Del Boca Vista. That's it. You're done.
Okay. Okay. Yay!
You're done. You're done. You nailed them. And I'm really terribly embarrassed about the space pen, but you had that one right. So I'm going to actually give you the full 10. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. There you go. So, what shows are you watching now?
So we just finished the House of the Dragon, season 1, and just started White Lotus. So doing the HBO thing right now.
Yeah, are you in season 1 or season 2?
For White Lotus season 2.
Okay,
So they're in
I
Italy.
haven't done that one yet. I did season 1.
Yeah, so they're in Italy now. Yeah, so we renewed HBO so that we could, kind of watch all the HBO stuff and then
move on to something else. Yep.
move on to something
That's the
else.
drill. That's the drill. Okay, so we didn't get into much telecom stuff here. I assume you did your typical round of predictions that we all do at the end of the year. Skipping the more current ones, I want to hear over your illustrious career some of the predictions that you feel you nailed.
Well, the integration of unified communications and contact center. I mean, I've
Never
been talking
happened.
about that
That'll never
since,
happen.
yeah, I've been talking about that since before it was UC, when we called
Okay.
it other stuff. So that one I definitely got. It just took a really long time. I think a lot of my predictions I nailed. I just got the timing wrong.
Well,
Things just take so much longer than expected. I social media, when social media first happened, I thought that was going to be a big contact center customer care channel, and it kind of happened, and then it slowed down, but it's happening again.
now it's slowing down again with Elon on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, let's not talk about that. But yeah, so social media, I was pretty right on about just early. What else? User experience. I've been talking about user experience for a long time, before it was the thing. But part of it is because I'm not very technical. So to me, I don't like getting into the real technical issues about things. For me, it's, what does it mean to the end user? What does it mean to the customer? So I always talked about it from that perspective. And then lo and behold, everything was about, customer experience and user experience. Uh, so that was a pretty good one. But again, I was early.
So you said that things take a lot longer than they should, or that we expect them to, and I think that's an accurate thing. I've been telling people that for the past 10 years, every year we've been saying AI is about 10 years away. And now with ChatGPT, I think we're going to change that to AI is about 5 years away for the next 10 years. But I think that'll be then we'll revise it again. Maybe we'll be like 3 years away in a decade. So things definitely go a little slow. So I don't want to we're right about the half-hour mark here. So I want to wrap up a little bit around your interests. And I know that you're an avid cyclist. And in fact, I think you were out cycling today. Um, uh, tell me
Well,
about your.
I'm not avid. I have a group of friends that I ride with. I'm very slow, but I get out there and it's fun. And going, bike riding in wine country is just lovely most of the time. The mustard are starting to come up now in the vineyard, so that's really pretty. It's just a fun thing to do. I don't race, I don't go fast. I'm just with my group of friends, and we just have a nice time. So yeah, it's fun.
And you're not an e-biker.
No, I do have an e-bike.
Oh, you
So
do?
to,
Okay, I thought you were.
yeah,
Okay, good. I was gonna,
well,
okay.
today I was on my regular bike, but I do have an e-bike that I use quite a bit, just to keep up with the faster folks.
E-bikes are the way to go.
They
E-bikes
are.
are they are great. Have you done any bike tourism, like where you travel somewhere and get bikes and.
I haven't done many tours. I did one starting in Santa Barbara, and we rode down to like basically the Mexican border, down to San Diego. So that was a good one. And I'm actually signed up, or I will be signed up in about 3 days for one going through the Loire Valley in 2024. Um, so and I've done a lot of rides like in California and Oregon for weekend type rides, but I haven't done a lot of the exciting overseas ones.
Yeah, that's becoming an interesting form of tourism. I haven't done one either, but I've talked to a few people. You fly out to some European destination and they have the bikes waiting for you, and you don't have to deal with any luggage or anything because they move all that stuff for you every
Yep.
night to a different hotel. That sounds like a pretty nice trip. I want to find
Well,
out more about those.
maybe you can do the one that I'll be doing in the Loire Valley.
Well, the Loire Valley. Yeah. Well, they have champagne there.
I'm sure they do.
They sure they do. Okay.
I'm sure they do.
All right. Well, thank you for being my guest on Influence Me. And I'm terribly embarrassed about the Seinfeld question. That was bad. That
Oh,
was
yada
bad.
yada yada.
Yada yada. Oh, there you look. Very good. Okay. Well, thank you, Blair, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And I look forward to another 19 years on, at least on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
All